Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Hi guys, it's Shell with Creative Shell Bear, and today I'm going to show you how I make these. It's a deck of cards into a secret box. Isn't that fun? The way I came up with this is my niece wanted to, do one of those little secret books, and my husband said, I have never seen that done with cards. So I got to thinking about it, and this is what I came up with, and I think that this is such a cute little idea. It still fits in our box that it came in. So, this could be a stocking stuffer or just, a sweet gift. And the hole is big enough, for whatever you want to put in there. If you want to put some money or whatever you'd like in the hole, to hide it from intruders or, to give it as a gift. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is get a pack of playing cards. I got these from the dollar store, so it's really cheap. And then you want to think, the top and the bottom. So you want to think about the top and the bottom. And since it's a joke box, what I did is I pulled the joker and then 4 other cards. And that makes like a really thick top and a really thick bottom. So we're going to put those aside, and then I pulled the other joker and 4 more cards. Okay, and then we're going to have our first card. And what I'm using is I'm using the Sizzix dies. And this is how I ended up, figuring out where, each one of them would be centered and each one would be cut out correctly. So you need some washi tape. You want some kind of tape that's not going to really stick down and, or rip your card. So you want just, like some paper tape just to kind of hold your die down. And with the first one, you just want to be really careful and just make sure that it's lined up correctly. See if I can get this tape, because everything else will be from that. Let me get one that's not quite so old. Okay, so you just want to make sure everything is pretty much centered. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to be careful, especially on the first one, because this is your template essentially for the rest of them. So then you're going to take your Cricut or your Cuttlebug or whatever die cutting, thing that you have. And we're going to cut that out real quick. And I always go through once and then back. Just a habit I have. This over. Okay, and so that's a perfect cut, or it should be. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that out. Whoa. Go ahead and save this middle part. We'll use that for another project. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is I'm just going to, let me show you how I do this. You're just going to line up your card. You want to make sure, all the ends match and everything. So I tend to put tape on all 4 sides. It keeps it, from shifting or anything in my So let's do that again. Run that through, and I've realized you can only do it's best to just do one card, and your template. Otherwise, it doesn't, cut through. So you're actually spending more time trying to get it to cut through than, you would have otherwise. Save your tape, because we can use that over and over and over again. Let's go ahead and remove the template or the disc. And I have a pile of these over here. Okay, and now you have 2 cards. So what I do is I go ahead and I just kind of build it up. Of course, next time you'll have 4 cards, and so the more you can do at a time, and kind of get them prepped, seems to take much less time. So it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to cut, all the cards out, and I think ends up being like 46 that you cut out. But you doing it, this way, using that die. So it is, kind of time consuming, but I think it's going to be so worth it, because what a fun secret surprise. And I have looked on the internet for something similar, and I haven't found anything that, I don't know if no one's never thought to do this, or if it's just I couldn't find anything. So you may be looking at a unique may be looking at a unique gift right here, something that has never been done before. Okay, so I'm just using the die. How we have the one cut out and then the one underneath. Just using the die again to cut those out. And if you have them, kind of all done at once, it's just so much easier. If you have them all taped and ready to go. So let me show you how easy it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is I just am going to pop this one up, because we want that die for our next one. And then go ahead and set this aside, and the center part. And then just grab your next set and continue that. Now it's hard to line them up 100%, but it gets really, really close. Now, if you have another idea, then go for it. I thought about using a punch, but I couldn't guarantee that my circles were all, 100% lined up, or, 98% lined up. It was really hard. So, okay. So now we have 4. And then again, I'll just take these 4, put them on 4 new cards, so I'll have 4 sets next time, and I can go through those really quickly. So, and I'm going to go ahead and do that and get all these punched, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got these all cut out, and then when you stack them together, see, they're pretty straight. So I think it's, that's going to be a perfect place to put a little pair of earrings or some money or something. So our next step is we want to glue those. And when I was asking my husband about it, I was thinking about, just using a box, something that I could line up 2 corners on. But we have this stuff for our stained glass. And so he was able to make me a perfect little little thing so it lines up on 3 sides. But if you don't have something like this, then you can certainly use, you know, just a box or something small so that you can, you know, get them lined up really well. Okay, so now I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to apply this with a paintbrush. Okay, so I'm just going to use this paintbrush, and since we are using a paintbrush and it's art glitter glue, it really dries quick. So about every 4th card or so, I'm going to wash my paintbrush off and dry it so that I don't have a bunch of, you know, glue drying on my paintbrush. Okay, so I'm just going to cover it with, and then I'm just fold it down, you know, push it down like this, and we just continue doing that until we're about halfway up our box. And the reason I do that, so I do 2 sets that's about halfway done, so that when we put them together, I still have my my, you know, mold to put them together, so I can just set the other set on top of this, on each other, and it will stick them together and it'll be, you know, perfectly formed. So I'm going to continue doing this, and when I return, I'll show you how I set the two batches together. Okay, I got all of the cards glued together, and I have 2 sets. And the reason I did 2 sets, because if I would have done one, I wouldn't be able to line them up perfectly, or if I did, it would have been a lot harder. But I still have a little lip right here, so when I put the glue down, then, you know, it'll be easier to line them up. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, I'm just using my art glitter glue and my paintbrush. Go ahead and dry that off. And I'm just going to cover it, and then that way it'll, you know, it'll just line up so much easier if I have a little, you know, help. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of shift that into place and see how it lines up. You know, it lines up pretty good. And then I'm just going to kind of weight it down for a little bit. And then when I take it out, you know, it's got a pretty good little lined up. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to put like something heavy on it. I'm just putting like a Mod Podge, bottle of Mod Podge over here on it. Just kind of a weight so that it doesn't shift or anything. Because my goal when this is done is, you know, to make it look just like a brand new set of cards. Okay, well that's drying. Remember those 4 cards that I had, and then I had my Joker. So now I'm just going to go ahead and glue those together. To just doing the same thing. And this one will be the bottom, and I will have the Joker peeking through. Okay, I got my set of 5 cards done, and I really like the Joker, so that when you look into your secret box, it has a Joker, because it is a joke after all. So I put him down there. I'm going to go ahead and put our art glitter glue on the main block that I have. And we're going to glue him down. And then I have the other set of 5, and it's drying right now. And I'll show you how I make the lid. Okay, so this is going on right here. Again, we just want to make sure, you know, it lines up really well. So it looks like a really good, like a deck of cards. Sometimes, you know, you'll have a little bit of glue. I take it out of my little thing quite often, and just to make sure that it doesn't stick, you know, like around, especially like if you're using a box, you don't want it to stick to your box, so you might want to line it with plastic wrap or something like that. I would just check it, you know, quite often. Okay, so this is lining up really well. I'm going to stick this aside. Here's the other set. You see, I put the other joker in here. And now we're almost done with our box. So I'm going to show you how I made the lid. Okay, so now we're just ready for our lid. So let me show you what I'm doing. I have this kind of plastic tape, and you know, I was thinking about how, you know, what would be the best way to do this, and I thought, you know, you definitely want plastic if you're going to do it this way to close the lid, because like if you use washi tape, it's a paper tape, and you know, if it gets a lot of use, it'll eventually tear. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this about halfway onto the joker. And this is our lid. A little crooked, but that's okay. And then you want to line it up with the other one. Just hold it side by side. Line it up like that, and then when you're done, you just flip it over, and it's a perfect fit. That way, you know, it's if it's used, if it's opened a lot, then your tape will hold. You know, there's other ways I thought about closing this. I thought about maybe, you know, putting like a dowel on one end, and then you could slide it. Whatever you wanted to do. So I think it's a really cute idea. Like I said, I haven't seen this anywhere, but you know, it's just a deck of cards that could be a little mystery box. And I was thinking, you know, if you're given a car for Christmas, wouldn't that be a cool idea? Not that I'm giving anybody a car, or anyone is giving me one, but I wouldn't complain. You could put, you know, your keys in here. You could put some money in here, a little note. You know, this would be a great place to store, you know, a $100 bill or some money. And then my goal was to just have it fit perfectly back into the box. And this one does. There we go. And so on Christmas morning, or whenever I give this, they're going to think they're getting a box of cards. So what do you guys think? I'm really happy with how this turned out. It was really fun. And like I said, I haven't seen this anywhere. And so I am making really, isn't that cute? I'm making really detailed notes to put on my blog. So if you want to go there, you can go there and see that. And here's the other one I did. Aren't those cute? I just like the Joker. I think they're fun. So, but definitely go check out my blog. Join me on Facebook at Creative Shell Bear. And all that will be linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you enjoy this craft as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you guys for watching. And you guys have a great day.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly.